Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Orlando, and US malls have continued to be pushed out of the way or destroyed by the era of Amazon and the way that we shop. And reports have just come out. They are still declining, and the asset, the real estate, has declined 60%, guys. 60%. So let's jump into the reason why malls are just being destroyed. So there was a report by Bloomberg that says this: US mall values declined 60% due to appraisals in 2020, according to analysts, across 118 shopping centers with commercial loans, guys. So a lot of these, big malls, they have these huge commercial loans that are normally backed by insurance companies and other big conglomerate companies. So all of these individuals have these huge loans, guys. So it says about $4 billion was lost. $4 billion after reappraisals were done. So what does that mean? That basically means that we already had a depreciating asset in these malls. They were already, maybe let's just say it was a $100 million mall, and then it dropped down to, 60 million. Now this year, it dropped another 60%. And then it says, most of these were caused by delinquencies, defaults, and foreclosures. This is a big point. With the pandemic happening, a lot of owners decided, you know what? You can have the keys. It's just not worth it when the value of the asset just continues to go down. But you have this huge debt that doesn't fluctuate. So that $100 million property that we were talking about, you still have $100 million on it, but it's only now worth $20 million. What would you do in that situation? I mean, in the 2008 financial crisis, that same thing happened and people handed the keys back to the bank. And that's what's happening here. And then this report also says data suggests a grim outlook for many malls across the country, as some of the largest mall owners, including Brookfield Property Partners and Simon Property Group, I've seen them all over, are increasingly walking away from underperforming properties, handing over the keys to the lenders. So that's what I just said. They're just handing the keys to the lender. And then it also says that in some cases, malls are being foreclosed on with almost no interest from outside investors. So these guys are trying to sell the malls, and other investors are like, nope, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to get into this asset class that basically people see is dying, Then it says a recent foreclosure auction of a Simon mall outside of Atlanta yielded no bids, despite previously being valued at $322 million. Isn't that crazy? $322 million it was valued at, but now zero interest in it. Nobody wants to buy it because it's dropped so much in value. Man, these malls, it's almost over. And then it continues to say, in Connecticut, a portion of a shopping center owned by Simon, value dropped by 88%. Can you imagine, guys, your home dropping 88%? Yeah, you can have the keys back. You can have the keys back. And then it says here, it continues to say, many of the lower tier malls that will be sold will likely be redeveloped into something else. I don't know if you've seen some of the malls turn into like Sky Zones and things of that nature. That's crazy, but I'm gonna show you guys really quickly. I wanna share my screen with you and show you exactly what the losses are for some of these mall owners. So take a look at this. You see Kushner, you see CBL and Associates. Now, the owners, you guys probably don't care about, but let's look at the losses though here. Okay, so we see the 2020 appraisal here. It says 92.5 billion, and then look at the decreases on the side here, guys. Decrease. 377 million, 257 million, 191 million, and it just goes on and on and on. And you have to realize, guys, like a lot of these guys, they're not just gonna take the money that they have in their savings and say, you know what, we're gonna pay the bank. We're going to pay the bank the 100 million difference or 200 or 300 million difference in these valuations. They're not going to do that. They're just going to hand over the keys and say bye-bye. And you can do that in commercial loans because there's a no recourse clause in commercial loans when it comes to big properties like this. Mall owners are going to have a very hard time getting out of this, but we're going to see what's going to happen. And once again, guys, I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.